Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
The man who donated millions of pounds to the Brexit campaign is under scrutiny for paying thousands of pounds to a leading politician in the small African kingdom of Lesotho. Arron Banks has mining interests there and neighbouring South Africa. In a BBC interview, Mr Banks admitted paying money into the personal account of a Lesotho government minister, but denied that the payment amounted to a bribe. Manveen Rana reports.
Lesotho may be one of the poorest countries in the world, but the lure of diamonds has drawn many to the kingdom in the sky, including the businessman and Brexit donor Arron Banks. But when we found his diamond operation, the machines were silent and the site was deserted.
Everything here will be done and levelled by the end of August.
The operation is winding up after 3 years in which they only found 6 small diamonds. Getting a licence to mine in Lesotho isn't easy.
The more friends you've got within the government, the more likely it is that you'll succeed in permit application.
What do they expect?
You've got to grease some palms.
Arron Banks has certainly invested in making friends in government. Not only was he a political donor to the Lesotho National Party, he also transferred £65,000 to a personal bank account for the party leader. £16,000 of that was paid just weeks before Banks received a permit to hunt for diamonds.
Well, Mr. Arron Banks and myself, as the leader of the party, agreed that this is the system that we want to. You see, Lesotho is overwhelmed with corruption.
Do you think there's a danger, though, that if it goes into a separate private account, that can look corrupt in its own way?
No.
In 2014, during a military coup, Arron Banks not only paid Mr Masrabani's rent whilst he was in exile for 2 years, but the Prime Minister of Lesotho, Tom Thabane, told me that he had also been funded by Arron Banks in South Africa. Did he help you personally too?
Well, I think we were good friends.
While you were in exile, did he help?
Yes, no, he did. Yes, he did.
What sort of help did he give?
Well, I think we needed to buy food. Seriously, and to buy some soap to wash.
We showed our interviews to a leading corruption investigator in South Africa who has the authority to file a criminal case with a national prosecutor.
We'll be carrying out further investigations of our own, what we call forensic investigations, and then I will be opening a criminal docket.
A docket is evidence sent to the National Prosecuting Authority in South Africa, setting out the case for corruption charges. Arron Banks has been informed of the investigation, and when I spoke to him yesterday, he denied that he'd funded the Prime Minister, but he didn't deny his relationship with the government minister, Theseli Masrabani.
Did he ever ask you for money?
Yes.
Did you pay money?
Yes.
Do you think that's appropriate?
Yes.
Is that not a classic case of corruption?
No, it's not corruption at all.
But at the same time, you were putting money into a personal account for Mr Masrabani.
Yes.
Who was a government minister.
He was a minister for women's equality.
Yes, but this
I don't see how you quite link the two.
This isn't going into a charity account. It's not even going into his party's account. You're putting money into a personal account for him.
Yeah.
Often in his South African account too.
Well,
Did that not seem suspicious?
No.
Following our investigation, Arron Banks, one of the biggest political donors in British history, is now under scrutiny for his funding of politicians in a tiny mountain kingdom half a world away. Manveen Rana, BBC News.